Alright team, welcome back to the channel. Last month I did a poetry gig in Manchester at a venue called Creatures Comedy Club. I used to do quite a bit of poetry, but I stopped, don't know why, probably the crippling self-doubt. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to get back into it. And I wrote a few little bits, new poems for this event, for this night. So you'll see them a little bit later. I actually started doing stand-up back in 2018. My mate Reese from Barnsley was moving to Australia and he wanted to raise funds, and he decided that he was going to put on like a professional comedy night, and he said he wanted me to get on in the middle and give it a go and see what happened, because he just thought I was a really funny bloke, obviously. I met Reese back in 2012 at Sheffield Hallam University. We studied the same course, Performance for Stage and Screen. I got a first, whatever. It was a really valuable degree. Seriously. Anyway, he asked me to go and do this gig in Barnsley, and I managed to scrape together like 8 minutes of material. I think I only had about a week, 2 weeks to get something sorted. So I just thought, right, I'm going to hammer it, try and get something together. And I did. I got about, like I said, about 8 minutes. I get on in the middle, and I'm not shit. And sometimes that's all it takes. And the people who was at the gig, like the crowd, were saying, oh, you should carry on with it. Reese was really happy with it, give me a bit of a confidence booster. So I thought, you know what, I'll try and do a bit more. I'll try and do a bit more of this stand-up comedy stuff. I didn't really know anybody that did stand-up comedy, and I thought, how do I get into stand-up comedy? So I think I just Googled stand-up comedy or whatever, and the Frog and Bucket in Manchester came up, and they have quite a prestigious night called the Beat the Frog night. Essentially, it's a gong show, right? So you've got to get on stage, and you've got to last 5 minutes before the audience beat you off. 3 cards get given into the crowd. They'll listen to your material. If they think that you're rubbish, they'll raise the card, and if all 3 go up, yeah, Loser by Beck just blasts through all the speakers, and you are essentially booed off stage. Not very pleasant. But thankfully, that didn't happen to me. I actually managed to win the first gong show that I did. I came joint first with some bloke. That put me through to a semi-final, and that's where I met Kyle Porter, the now famous slow-mo sensation online. It went absolutely nuts about a year ago. He put out a clip. I think he went from like 1,000, 2,000 followers on Instagram to over 500,000 in the space of a month. So, yeah. And I'm currently sat here. We did the comedy night together, we did the semi-final, there was like 10 acts, and we ended up both winning that one and getting through to the final. Then I thought, right, I need to try some other gigs out, and I found that there was a Southport New Comedian of the Year gig. I applied for that, went and did a gig in a hotel, which was the first heat, managed to get through. I get to the final, there's about 10 acts, I think we all do about 8 minutes each, and then at the end it's an audience vote. I brought a lot of family with me. I'm not saying that's the reason why I won it. It was a good gig, but I think that definitely helped. I think it's a good job that I did win it, because if I didn't win it and I bombed, I don't know what would have been worse, because they would have still cheered for me. That would have been painful. You'd rather your family said that you'd done absolutely awful. You'd rather your family said that you'd done crap than pretend that you've done good, because that happens. Sometimes you just have a stinker of a gig and they're like, oh, you was actually really good. And it's like, no, I wasn't. Let's just cut the bull, yeah? The prize for winning Southport New Comedian of the Year was you got a penthouse suite at the hotel you was performing at, and you got tickets to go and see Stuart Francis. You got a meal included from the hotel, and you got a professional gig. You got like You got like a middle spot on a pro bill, so you made a little bit of money. So I've won Southport New Comedian of the Year. I'm in the World Series final of the Frog and Bucket Beat the Frog gong show, and I'm getting a bit confident. And to make my head swell even more, I actually submitted a little short film that I'd made, a little comedy short about a non-league football club. Posted it online. It's like a little 2-minute clip that I made with my mate Sads, who was like part of the same football club that I was, and it ended up going nuts online. And we actually got invited to the Comedy Crowd's Charts Festival, where we were shortlisted. So that was like really, really cool. and it actually ended up getting developed into a fully fledged pilot. It gets to the Frog and Bucket World Series final, and I'm a bit nervous. There's no gong in this one because we beat the first 2 competitions. It was just like, no, you just get to do your material. And I'm on with some heavy hitters on the new comedy scene in Manchester. And we get our running order, and I think I'm about 6th or something like that. And before me is a comic from Lithuania called Evaldas Karosis, and I'd gigged with him before, and he's a very, very funny lad. Very funny. Like, yeah, so just really impressive, has great material, and absolutely hammers stand-up comedy. So I was a bit apprehensive about going after him. And I was right to be apprehensive because he went on stage and he absolutely blew the roof off the place to the point where I was like, he's already won it. I have got no chance. I had no chance because you could just feel it. He absolutely smashed it. I give it a go. I get on stage. I'm working through my material. I'm getting laughs. But I could tell that the audience were still thinking about Evaldas. As I was performing, I knew they were thinking about him. And I knew they were thinking about him because I was thinking about him and how good he was. He was brilliant. Well deserved. And he's gone on to do great things. You should go and check him out. Evaldas Karosis. He'll be online. Instagram, YouTube. I think he's just been in Japan or something like that, doing like a residency. Amazing comic. Obviously lose the World Series final. Great experience, but wasn't meant to be. But I thought, you know what? I've established myself in the comedy scene at least a little bit. I'll be able to get a few gigs and build on it. And obviously with the little sitcom pilot that we've got commissioned, that'll be like really enjoyable as well, and be able to build that. And then that was at the back end of 2019, 2020. Obviously thinking new year, this is the year. And then COVID happened.
If you want to fight for human existence, make sure you keep a 2-meter distance.
And it blew everything out of the water. The pilot ended up taking years to make. It just sort of fell to pieces, really. Made something really special, but at the same time, it wasn't what we intended it to be. So that died a death, really. And then, because it was COVID, I couldn't gig. I didn't really have the experience to do the online gigs. All my focus really went on trying to get the pilot sorted, so I sort of abandoned the momentum of the stand-up comedy that I'd built, really. It got to post-COVID, it sort of like messed with my head a little bit, because I obviously had a really positive start, but that was years ago now, and I didn't feel like I was a new comedian, but technically I was still a new comedian. I think I'd only done probably between 10 and 20 gigs, and for those who do stand-up comedy, that is not considered a lot in the slightest. Like, you're still completely new. But that really got in my head, and I didn't really gig. And then another couple of years passed by, so that it's 2024, and by that point I barely gigged since 2019. And I felt like if I applied for gigs to promoters, I was going to be getting sort of questions as if to say, well, why have you not done anything since 2019? And it feels like you don't want to feel like you're in a position where you're sort of begging for gigs, because I don't feel that comes across the right way. So, yeah, I was really put off by the gigging. But 2024 ended up going to the Edinburgh Fringe with Clem, Harry, Ben. Yeah, that really got me back into the swing of things. We took the podcast, we took Killer Comedy Club, the comedy club that me and Harry run.
Thank you very much for having me. You do
And yeah, that got me back into the swing of things. And then I thought, you know what, this year I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and hit as many gigs as I can, try and start fresh, and see where it takes me. Because I just feel like I just felt crippled by the time when I started to where I'm at now. And I just felt like people might have thought I've knocked it on the head, or I've not progressed, I've not got any better. But yeah, just going to go for it. Which brings me back to the original point of, I did a poetry night in Manchester, Creatures Comedy Club. The poems are in here, it's new material, it went quite well, I had a good laugh doing it, and I hope you enjoy this next bit of the vlog. So yeah, I've been Lewis Coleman, this is Lou Vlog, Enjoy. So, I am just waiting for the bus now to Manchester. I've got my chicken, rice and broccoli in tow. It's gone down a treat, to be fair, and I didn't even have time for any seasoning. It should probably take me about 45 minutes to an hour from now to get me to where I need to be. I'm just by myself, because there doesn't seem to be anybody around. It's just me, my food, and the guided busway. But hopefully the bus will be here soon enough, because it is still pretty cold. So tonight I'm performing at Creatures Comedy Club, which is a comedy night in Manchester that runs 7 days a week. I've never performed there, so it'd be good to see what it's like. I'm not doing stand-up this evening. I'm going to try and whip out a little bit of poetry, what I've been writing over the past few weeks, probably about 5-6 weeks. I've got one that I only wrote a couple of days ago about a broken boiler, one about my hairline going, another about how the older generation and my generation just seem to argue all the time. One about thumbs who think that they do too much work and think fingers have got it easy. And I think that might be it. What's that? Boiler, arguing, hairline, thumbs. Yeah, and then that's probably my time slot. But I'll take you along for the journey, and we'll see how we get on. Right, I'm puzzled here, because it said at 1932 there was a bus expected. I've been here for about 20 minutes, and when it got to 1932, it just dropped off the bus timetable. So does that mean it's coming or not coming? Because this is going to cause a bit of a problem. Wait a minute. What's that coming over the hill? Is it the V1? Oh, it's the V1! Get in! Oh! I've just got off bus there, and I'm telling you now, this bloke must have seized 10 times. It was absolutely ridiculous. Each one louder than the last. It was sneezing that much. I looked to my left, a woman locked eyes with me and cracked the window open, and it was f***ing freezing. But yeah, just on my way there now. Should take me about a 10-minute walk. I bet I get there just as it's kicking off, so be able to see the first few acts in the first section. Manchester's not looking too busy. It's a Monday night, which I don't mind, because sometimes you come here and it's absolutely heaving. Look at that, green man straight away. But yeah, I'll see you when I get in there. Yeah, basically, I was on buzz on my ear on the V1, and this guy was sneezing like dead loud but for ages. You know what I mean? No apologies or anything like that. And I just thought, you know what? I'll scribble one out, right? So this is what I came up with. Right. I'm on my way to Creatures, and this bloke just won't stop sneezing. This lady's cracked a window. We're on a buzz, and it's fucking freezing. He's sneezing loud. He's sneezing proud. I'm looking down the aisle. Wilson Social not inside. We've got another good few mile. I can't believe how much he's sneezing, each one louder than the last, begging that he just ring the bell each bus stop we went past. Jesus Christ, this bugger's loud. He's not take number 5. I didn't know I bought front row tickets to fuck off Sneezes live. So this next poem call is called Mate, Your Airline's Fucked, right? Mate, your airline's fucked. You've had a chicken that's nearly plucked. Mother Nature tried to throw a fringe your way and your forehead fucking ducked. line's tragic. Did you lose it doing magic? Well, try to cast the spell again, because the results are fucking drastic. So, basically, this one's about our generation arguing with the older generation, just about life, just arguing, pointless arguments. And this one's called Stop With Your Complaining, in 2 parts. Stop with your complaining. You think you've got it hard? Our parents had no money, no cash or credit card. We'd live on water and Weetabix, we'd mush it to a paste. And our dad would force it down our throats if we let some go to waste. We didn't have no internet and we couldn't bank online. The little money that we'd earn would help us build a spine. We didn't own no mobile phone, we didn't have any apps. We couldn't use no GPS, as I'd read the bloody map. Stop with your complaining. You think you had it hard? We can't buy an inch of land because you've taken every yard. And you mention owning houses and trying to climb the ladder, but you've taken all the rungs off it, left us stilts and say what's matter. We'll tell you what the matter is. You bought your own for a bag of chips. I'd change for rhubarb custards and a grab bag pack of skips. Why should we all stop mourning? At least the mourn is free. If you asked us how we're feeling, in one word, I'd say, ennui. That's a good one, that, isn't it? That's a great line, that! And we never spat out dummies. We couldn't fit you in our gob. Half the shite that you spew out makes you sound like a massive. None of us want to hear it. You're a record on repeat. We'd like to return our future, please, but you gave us no receipt. You just see us as the problem, and we see you the same. What a pointless interaction this is. Wasted time and nothing gained. Thank you. My boiler broke the other day, and yeah, I just feel like for an appliance which is built to deal with pressure, it crumbles under the first fucking bit of winter. Do you know what I mean? So this one, my last one's called I'm the Bastard Boiler. I'm the bastard boiler. I've no pressure in my bastard tank. Too scared perhaps to turn my taps. Your plumbing skills are bastard wank. I'm the bastard boiler. When you need me, I will break. It might be cold, but I'm dead old. Want warmth, then fucking shake. I'm the bastard boiler. No hot water today, you knob. Just jump in, shower and turn on power. In and out, a 2-minute job. I'm the bastard boiler. Your heater's not working, don't cry. Pop on the heater, rack up that lecky meter and let's get them bills sky high. I'm the bastard boiler. Your radiators don't need to bleed. What are you doing? It's painful viewing. It's a bastard plumber you need. I'm the bastard plumber, and look at the bloody state. You sat there shivering, your cat's even quivering. Why have you left it so late? Because of the bastard landlord. They don't want to pay to upgrade. They're apprehensive because the boiler's expensive and they're cheap for the dickhead brigade. I'm the bastard tenant. Let me tell you, life's a bitch. Can you fix it or not? Oh shit, I forgot. When I went to Spain, I turned it off at the switch. Thank you. My name's I just want to say, we have a podcast called The All Made Up Podcast. I've got some cards I can give you out later if you want to check that out. Really appreciate the support. Thank you once again. Thank you.